It's difficult to sum up the experience of parenthood without making it about my child's experience, because her very existence caused my gravitational pull to shift. Before my daughter was born, I was the center of my own galaxy, with work, friends, and my spouse orbiting around me. After she was born, those things became like moons, continuing to orbit around me, but my center of gravity shifted, and my life and everything with it orbited around her. While my life orbits around hers, her life isn't mine, and I'm often just an observer, supporting, but not in it. That's the most challenging part of parenting. In order to maintain my equilibrium, I need to understand that even though I feel so completely connected to this other person, she follows her own path, and all I can do is observe and support. Before she was born, she was always with me. Even after she was born, we remained tied together, my love for her absolute and all-encompassing. But as she grew, she began to think for herself and to individuate from me, and it occurred to me that she was already beginning to prepare to leave me. By the time she entered school, we were both filled with excitement and anxiety. I left early to pick her up that first day. I waited outside the door, peeking in through the window to see how she did when she didn't know I was there. This is when I learned the art of watching my children through windows. Throughout her school experience, I listened outside doors and watched discreetly from car windows, and most of what I saw made me laugh and sometimes even beam. Sometimes I was completely dumbfounded. Between her middle school experience and her high school experience, we moved across the country to be closer to our extended family. By the time that school began, it was apparent to us all that she was struggling with severe anxiety and depression. From our living room window, I anxiously watched for her at her bus stop, wishing that it could be like it was once before, wishing that I could make it all okay with a snuggle and a story. Eventually, she made friends and her anxiety lessened, and so did her communication with us. She spent less time at home, and I found myself glancing out the window even more, worrying about what she might be doing. I worried that she would do herself harm. And when she opened up to me and shared a text from a friend, I was suddenly very worried that somebody else would do her harm. My daughter bravely spoke to officers in a courtroom filled with a judge, lawyers, the young man and his family, all on her own. I sat behind her, unable to hold her hand, and tearfully listened as she courageously read her statement about love and forgiveness and making better choices. I sat behind her, feeling diminutive and helpless in the magnitude of the situation and in the magnitude of her bravery and her heart. After that experience, her focus changed, and so did my confidence in her. The tension that I had felt in my heart for so long dissipated and made room for joy and laughter. In August, her father and sister and I hurriedly moved boxes into her dorm room with her, and as we drove away past her window, I looked up and imagined her unpacking her belongings and making a little home for herself for the next school year, and I felt thrilled for her. The biggest emotion I felt was satisfaction, knowing that she was ready for this transition. Our house feels a little empty, and it seems strange to close the blinds to that window without her home. I often wonder if she knew that I never close the blinds until everyone is home. But of course, she is home.